Welcome to the Getting Started presentation for the age 5 to 7 level. You have made an excellent academic decision for your child by choosing Moving Beyond the Page's rigorous and engaging program. This presentation will help you make the most of this school year. It is loaded with information that will be extremely useful for a new user of Moving Beyond the Page. Moving Beyond the Page will provide you and your child with an engaging educational experience, encouraging critical thinking and creativity, as opposed to implementing a traditional textbook workbook type approach. Now, this may be why you chose Moving Beyond the Page to begin with, but now that your living room has 36 books and manipulatives spread around the floor, you may be wondering how to get started. Moving Beyond the Page is different than a traditional program, but it is very easy to implement and is flexible to work around your schedule once you understand how it is structured. We are going to walk you through organizing your books and curriculum, give you an overview of how the curriculum is structured, and provide tips on how to plan your year and your individual days with Moving Beyond the Page. The age 5 to 7 level is 1 year of academic instruction. The year is divided into 4 9-week concepts. Each of these concepts is comprised of 3 3-week units that each have about 10 lessons and a final project. Now that may sound like a lot to keep track of, but all you need to know is this. Do 1 lesson each day. There is no calendar of days that you have to check each morning. You simply move on to the next lesson. If your child is sick or if you go on a field trip, you just pick up where you left off. It is very simple. If you do this, you will finish the age 5 to 7 level in 1 academic year. Occasionally, you will come upon a lesson that is designated as a 2-day lesson. When you do, there is a marker in the lesson that tells you where to stop and pick back up the next day. Now that you know how the curriculum is structured, let's get back to that pile of 36 books that spread around your living room floor. Each of the 4 concepts has a parent manual and a student activity book, some required literature, and maybe some manipulatives. You may want to take a few minutes and organize your books by concept. To do this, you can either use your packing slip or the age 5 to 7 at a glance link at www.movingbeyondthepage.com/getting-started. You may even be able to pause this presentation and organize your books based on this picture. Any of these methods will show a list of the concepts along with the literature that is included in each one. Now that you have your year organized, we are ready to look a bit deeper at the curriculum itself. To do this, you may want to have the parent manual and student activity book for Concept 1 environment handy. As we go through various elements of the curriculum, it may be helpful to follow along in your book. If you are using the online curriculum, you can follow along as well. Just select and activate the first unit. Everything that we will be looking at in the hard copy version is also available to you in the online version. And one more thing, if you ever need more time with an online unit, just let us know. We are happy to give you extra time if you ever need it. Let's start by looking at the table of contents. Remember, each concept is 9 weeks long, so this is the parent manual that you will be using for 9 weeks. As you can see, there are 3 3-week units in the book. Before you start a unit, however, you should check the required books and materials page and make sure that you have access to all of the materials needed for the next 3 weeks. Many families find that it is helpful to keep a box or crate with all of the materials gathered for the unit in one place. This saves you from having to take time each day or even during a lesson to gather materials. Many of these items you will already have around the house, but there may be other items that you need to purchase. Most items can be found in common stores like Walmart or a craft store. Now that you have your materials ready, you are ready to do 1 lesson each day. Each unit ends with a culminating project where your child will synthesize the knowledge and skills he has gained in the unit. These projects are a great way to assess your child's understanding of the content and skills presented in the unit. This form of assessment is much more meaningful and insightful than a traditional test. Now let's look more closely at a lesson. Each lesson is presented in an easy-to-use format. Questions to explore are big questions related to the concept and ideas in each unit. These are not questions that you necessarily need to ask your child each morning, but they are conceptual understandings that your child will gain through the lesson. The lesson will help your child to explore and answer these big questions so that her understanding of the concept is reinforced. Facts and definitions outline the knowledge and vocabulary that your child will learn or memorize in the curriculum. Think of this section as memory work. The facts and definitions for each unit are summarized in a special review sheet that you can use to review with your child for a few minutes each day. Moving Beyond the Page is based on state and national standards. The standards covered in each lesson are listed in the skills section. These are listed based on the subject being covered. This first lesson covers standards in social studies, language arts, and math. After the skills section, the required materials are listed. This list shows the student activity pages that are needed as well as general materials. Since you already gathered these materials before starting the unit, your colored pencils, tape, and scissors will be readily available. The introduction is where the actual instruction begins, but the meat of the lesson will be in the activities. Activities are the primary component of moving beyond the page lessons. Most lessons include 2 to 4 activities for your child to engage in. Some activities include activity pages from the student activity book, while others involve hands-on learning experiences, such as creating posters, conducting science experiments, using math manipulatives, or acting something out. There are also many activities where you share and discuss stories with your child. Some activities have options. These are called differentiated activities, and they let you tailor your child's experience to either his academic ability or his personal interest. The lesson will end with a conclusion that often involves summarizing ideas presented in the lesson and asking your child to explain what he has learned in the lesson. This first lesson of the age 5 to 7 level has children sing a simple song to reinforce the lesson. My own children remembered this song well into their elementary years. Many lessons also have a handwriting page where your child can practice writing letters, words, or sentences. The letter will correspond with vocabulary words from the lesson. This makes writing letters more organic and meaningful. Students will see that writing serves the purpose of communicating words and ideas. If your child is more advanced in writing, you can decide to have him write relevant words or sentences instead of individual letters. Now that you are familiar with the structure of the curriculum and the structure of the lessons themselves, let's take a look at what a typical day might look like. You will spend about 1 hour implementing moving beyond the page. It is a good idea to begin or end with about 10 minutes of review using the review sheet available with your curriculum. You will also spend about 30 to 45 minutes teaching your child to read using the program you have chosen for this purpose. We also recommend that you read aloud with your child for about 30 minutes each day. This can be part of your bedtime routine if you like. You can take turns reading to give her practice as well. If you like, you can even choose books related to the theme or concept that is being covered in the curriculum. Moving beyond the page includes math application in the age 5 to 7 level, but we don't provide the daily review of skills found in a dedicated math program. If your child is using this for a kindergarten level, we feel you can decide whether to start a separate math program or just use moving beyond the page and review as you see it as needed. If your child is advanced or delayed in math, or if he is in first grade or above, we do recommend that you start a separate math program in addition to the moving beyond the page lessons. If you feel it is necessary, you can also spend 30 minutes reteaching skills and providing additional practice. Moving beyond the page does not include a lot of review and repetition, so as your child's teacher, you need to identify any areas where your child may benefit from this additional practice. You could also choose to spend about 30 minutes extending an activity with real-life application or additional research. Take your child's lead on this and try to find out what he is interested in to encourage his natural curiosity. Moving beyond the page will give you the framework for a fabulous year of learning. We hope your child learns a lot, grows as a thinker and a creator, and has a lot of fun in the process. If we can be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And happy homeschooling.